And let's go now to the guys who are moving up to Chesapeake, because although they won't get a full month there, we will see them for the next few weeks. And that's Griff O'Farrell, Thomas Sosa, and Zane Barnhart. And all of them this year have dealt with either injuries or struggles in some ways. O'Farrell, for the first 3.5 months of the season, really scuffled the plate, but then seemed to turn things around during a recent 29 game on base streak. He's riding that momentum up to Chesapeake. Sosa, meanwhile, missed time earlier this season because of an injury. And Barnhart, a reliever who weak tabbed coming into this season as a possible breakout candidate, got off to a slow start at Aberdeen, but has really turned things on of late. Since the beginning of July, the right-hander has posted a .40 ERA across 22 and a third innings with 30 strikeouts against 7 walks. He had a 3.72 ERA overall during his time with the Ironbirds. So looking at those three players, and I'll start with Nick here, what have you seen from those guys in the last few weeks that maybe prompted this promotion, and what can we expect from them in Chesapeake over the final weeks of the season?
The Griff O'Farrell thing, just I'm glad he's been performing the way he has these last couple of weeks. I'm not like shooting him up my rankings. I'm not getting super stoked. He is becoming who we were all hoping he would become, which is really good. Like, this is just a guy who, again, same thing. You drafted him knowing that I think you had a hole in the system. And we even asked John Muley directly about Griff O'Farrell, and he pretty much said the same thing. Like, this is a guy who you need guys like Griff O'Farrell in your system. They're very nice to have. Maybe the ceiling's not there, but still, this is someone who a lot of organizations are going to covet. And so I think we're starting to see that, though. Someone who could, at his peak, be a major league utility guy, but if anything, just be that AAA guy who can play a couple different positions around the infield. And same thing like with Reed Trimble, but I think even a better quality depth piece. If he has to come up and spend some time in the infield, you feel pretty good about the defense you're going to get. You feel good that he's going to work. He's going to be a pesky at bat for a lot of opposing pitchers. He's not going to be a super threat on the bases, but he's going to, he's athletic enough and he's smart enough. Everything was like nothing really stood out, but he's just so fundamentally sound in so many different areas that he was able to get a lot of good results at UVA and should translate well to the pros, and which it's looking like it is right now. So yeah, it's good to see him fulfill this role now. But the Barnhart, been super high on Barnhart. This was going back to like last year, just not really knowing too much about him. And then I think he went home and he did some interview and he talked about the increased velo and, putting on some weight, adding a couple of ticks to the fastball. He was hitting like 98, 99, I think, adding a couple off-speed pitches. A lot of good work there, and he came out in the Arizona Fall League. We got to see some data on him, pitched really well out there, and then he's just shoved this year. The last 2 months, especially at 1 earned run over the last 2 months. Smaller kid, but smaller frame guy, but big extension, pretty decent fastball velo and all that stuff. But yeah, it's glad to see him get the promotion there. And Sosa, like, we're going to talk about Sosa a little bit more later on in the next episode, so I'll kind of hold my thoughts there, but I'll just say I've questioned Sosa for a long time. Like, are we too high on him? Like, what exactly? This is just conversations I have with myself. What exactly has he done to prove that he should be above some of these other names that I'm putting behind him? Does he truly belong here? Am I still just living on this high of what that ceiling is? The fact that he seems like a really lovable guy, someone who fans, if you get to know him, you're going to love him. But, what is he really doing? And then the Orioles, even though he missed 2.5 months, 3 months, he missed pretty much the entire season, and he's still only 20 years old. The Orioles went ahead and promoted him to Double-A. And then tonight, he hits a home run in his first Double-A at bat. So it's like, all right, Orioles are telling me to stop questioning that. So yeah, good to see all three of those guys get to Double-A.
The more time passes, the more I'm embracing the return of Frederick and getting rid of Aberdeen, because wow, who knows how bad it's really messing these guys up. At least maybe it's something over the last couple of years. Maybe the switch to all turf has really just nerfed. The turf has nerfed the offense in Aberdeen. I don't know, but yeah, immediate success for Sosa and O'Farrell in their first game. Sosa 2 for 4 with the homer, O'Farrell 2 for 3 with a walk and a double. And O'Farrell, it's really interesting because in let's see, there was a nice stretch here from July 23rd to August 20th, which is almost 98 plate appearances, almost 100 plate appearances, batted 349, 860 OPS, 14.3% walk rate, only a 9.2% strikeout rate. Stole 17 bases in 17 attempts, 158 WRC plus, and then over the last week and a half of play, 33 plate appearances from August 21st to before today. 33 plate appearances, 2 hits, both singles, only 3 walks. Caught stealing twice in 3 attempts, only 1 steal, 067 batting average, negative WRC plus. So I don't know. That definitely deserved a promotion. And of course, he gets off to a great start. So yeah, great fielder. If he can just be a line drive hitter, can just be a doubles guy, steal some bases, play some good defense. Again, that's great depth ahead, like Nick already noted. Yeah, Sosa is interesting. Another Arizona Fall League candidate, along with Bradfield, probably Tavian Josenberger. There was one more that seemed pretty obvious that I can't remember on the position player side. But yeah, nice to see Sosa get that boost of confidence, or at least getting challenged by the decision makers in the Orioles player development, just like Steve Martinez, who's just, I hope this kid has good confidence, because it says a lot that he's in low A Delmarva and he has shown flashes, but man, don't look at your numbers, kid. So yeah, nice to see Sosa get off to a good start. Hopefully that can continue there. And Barnhart, yeah, I think you pointed it out that when he was getting promoted in the Discord, and I was like, he has been pitching well lately. And I look it up, and since July 1st, he had a 0.40 ERA over 22 and a third innings. Only he allowed 6 hits, 7 walks with 30 Ks in that period of time. A 1.80 FIP and 0.81 batting average against. So pretty damn dominant there. And off to a slow start this season. It was really kind of rough the first few months of the season, but clearly something clicked and he turned it around, and now he's in Double-A, and I think he is a legit relief prospect in the system. Just had to be patient.